The perfectly crafted text messages, the letters that you spent nights thinking about, writing, perfecting, trying to make it abundantly clear what your soul and your heart was speaking. The phone calls that you held your calm, trying to make your voice feel heard, and yet you've never felt more silenced in your life. These are the moments that we feel the pressure to want to feel heard, to feel understood, to have others finally see us for who we are, for our truth, and understand the decisions that we're making. But yet, it's often when we expend that energy, try harder, that we feel more silenced than ever. In this episode, I'm going to share with you why silence and your absence may be the biggest sign of self-respect, and why you may not want to continue investing energy in people who are set on misunderstanding you. This is so painful when you desperately want to feel heard, feel understood, especially by people who you care for and who you want to have a harmonious relationship with. This is a deeply painful experience when you are trying to express yourself. You're trying to say it just the perfect way so that maybe this is the time they'll understand. If I could just tweak it this way, or you have the conversation and then you leave it and you ruminate on all the ways you could have said it differently. If you just used that word instead of this one, if you just said it this way and not that way, then maybe the outcome would have been different. Maybe they would have finally seen your point of view. Maybe they would have finally understood you and things would be better. And there would be this openness to have this dialogue. There would be this openness to seeing you for who you are and allowing your truth to feel heard. This fantasy that we create in our minds that if we could just change it and tweak it and make it a little bit different or a little more clear, that automatically things would open up and that the people we desperately want to understand us would finally understand us. It's a fantasy that can easily get stuck into. Because at the end of the day, we have people we care for. We have disagreements. We have things that we may see different point of views. And at the end of the day, we all want to feel heard. Even if we don't agree with each other, we want to feel at least like the other person understands us and sees us for who we are and who our truth is. But the reality of it is that people will only understand you if they want to understand you. And that is something you cannot change. You cannot make somebody want to understand you. You cannot make somebody see your point of view. You cannot make somebody want to change. You cannot make somebody want to see your truth. It all comes from within. And unless somebody is at that point, unless they are willing to do the work, unless they are willing to sit with you and allow you to feel heard, no matter how much you change what you're saying, no matter how much you try a little harder, no matter how much you spend more time and energy investing in people who want to misunderstand you, it doesn't make a difference. The only difference it makes is that you feel a little bit more empty. You feel a little bit more drained. You feel a little bit more desperate. You feel a little bit more of that grief of not feeling heard, of not feeling seen, of maybe not feeling loved. And so we can continue to invest energy in situations, in people that are not willing to receive the information we're sharing with them, are not willing to see us for who we are not willing to hear us for the truth that we're sharing. Or we can remain silent. And this doesn't mean that don't speak your truth. This doesn't mean just silence yourself and move on. It doesn't mean hold back on saying what you want to say. It's none of that. It means that when you have invested in that dynamic long enough, when you have spoken your truth, when you have said all the words that you wanted to say, when you have spoken up for yourself and advocated for yourself, and it still has not changed the result, it still has not given any sense of peace in that dynamic. It has not changed the dynamic. It has not allowed anything to feel different. It still feels draining. Then instead of pushing harder and doing more and investing more and more energy, maybe the best thing you can do for yourself is to pull back the energy into yourself. You see, sometimes the most respectful thing we can do for ourselves is not try to seek out the validation of others. It's to finally give it to ourselves. And maybe that's the root of it all. Maybe that's the root of why you are ruminating on all the things you're ruminating on. Maybe that's why you feel like you desperately so want the other person to hear you and see you and understand you. Because is it that validation that you're seeking in them that you're actually not giving yourself? Is it that level of understanding that you want from them that maybe you're not giving yourself? And maybe you're leaving yourself so depleted that you don't have the energy to invest in validating yourself, invest in understanding yourself, invest in loving yourself because you're so desperate on getting them to give it to you. The biggest thing we can do to respect ourselves is to give ourselves everything we seek outside of ourselves. It's only then that we allow ourselves to feel free. We no longer rely on external circumstances to give us what we need to feel that way. We have the power always to allow ourselves to feel that sense of freedom, feel that sense of feeling heard and understood and validated and aligned with our truth. But yet we relinquish that power thinking that somebody else has it. That if they'll just come around and just listen to me, then I'll finally be okay. But the truth is, that's never where it was. It was always within you. And if you can allow yourself to take back your power, stop investing it on everybody outside of you who's dead set on misunderstanding you. Pull back that energy into yourself and realize that you had the power all along. That is the biggest sign of respect for yourself. When you validate yourself, you see yourself for who you are, you approach yourself with compassion, and you allow yourself just to be present with yourself without needing everybody around you to understand. Because when you understand yourself, when you give yourself everything that you seek outside yourself, you no longer rely on others to give it to you. And you realize that you can spend another year, another 2 years, maybe another 5 years, desperately clawing and trying to get others to see you for who you are, trying to get others to understand your point of view, your truth, your experience, to validate the impact of maybe what they've said or done. And it may be futile, may never change. And the worst thing, besides maybe feeling misunderstood for that long, is to look back after those 5 years you spent in trying to get others to understand and realize that now you're even more depleted. Now you feel even more misunderstood. And now you didn't even see yourself. You didn't even have your own back because you were just trying to get somebody to see you for who you are. It's in these opportunities that we can respect ourselves. And in that, we have to allow others to live their journey. We have to allow others to go at their own pace. When they are willing, when they are able, then maybe they may see you for who you are. But only until that point, your number one responsibility is to see you for who you are, to validate your truth, to respect yourself so deeply that even if others misunderstand you, that you understand yourself. And so if you felt alone, if you felt misunderstood, if you felt unheard, unseen by maybe the people you wanted to feel that from the most, you may feel so depleted right now. You may feel so desperate. You may feel so lonely, so empty, and wondering, what do I do next? And instead of spending more time and more energy figuring out how to curate the perfect words to get somebody else to understand, take this as an opportunity to validate yourself. What you experienced, they said to you, what happened, it was real and it was not okay. And I'm here for you now. Those are 3 sentences you can say to yourself right now. I've got your back. It's going to be okay. I'm here for you now. It's that validation of recognizing that, yeah, there may have been damage that has been caused. Yeah, there may have been things that have been said. Yeah, it probably was really hurtful. And to validate the experience that it was real, it happened. And instead of trying to get someone else to understand that, the person who is most important right now is you. And that energy is what you have as your gift right now. You have that decision to continue to invest that energy outside yourself or to take it back. Visualizing the hand open and pulling it back in, back into your heart, and allowing yourself to be your biggest advocate, allowing yourself to be your biggest form of self-respect, of love, of validation, of compassion. That's the opportunity you have right now. Do not give those people and situations more of your energy. Take it back. Allow silence to be your biggest form of self-respect in this moment and pour that energy back into yourself.